Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to go over a trend that's kind of been going on. What's it really called? Something like, you know, if I wasn't a YouTuber, what would my everyday makeup look like? So we're going to go through that. If you want to see what my everyday makeup would be if I didn't do YouTube, then just keep watching. Okay, so I tried to really think about this and not just gravitate towards stuff that's my favorite in my collection, because if I wasn't a YouTuber, I wouldn't have originally even purchased it. So that's kind of what I went off of. If I wasn't a YouTuber, would I have even bought it? And if I didn't think I would have bought it because of price or whatever, then it didn't go in my bag. So let's start going through these. Okay, let's just go through the steps of how I would do my makeup. So first things first is a moisturizer. So I feel like if I didn't do YouTube, I wouldn't have gotten into makeup as much as I did. So I originally started getting into makeup in 2014. So I've always worn makeup. I always felt the need to wear makeup because I didn't like my skin, but I didn't really know much about it and didn't really care to learn about it until 2014 when I started watching YouTube. And then a year later after that, I started my own YouTube. So I've actually been doing this, oh my gosh, it'll be 5 years in September. That's when I started really getting into it and getting into the different brands, and then ended up finding a love for actually even just reviewing and trying products. So that's why I said at the beginning, this is if I hadn't bought things, because I now have an obsession with trying new products and reviewing it, but back then I never would have. And so I feel like I wouldn't have bought, like, for example, the Marc Jacobs Tantastic is like one of my favorite bronzers. But if I hadn't really gotten into makeup like as much, I would not have been able to justify the price of that and never would have bought it. So with that being said, I don't think I would have gotten into primer at all. So I probably would have just stuck with a moisturizer and had that been my primer as well. So this is the moisturizer I use before I do my makeup every day. It's the e.l.f. Daily Hydration Moisturizer. This thing's like $8, I think. It's really cheap, and I actually really do like it. So this would have been moisturizer, but also primer. I put this in here because I want to hope that I would have gotten into this, but I doubt it, but I put it in here anyways, and it's sunscreen. So I just recently got into putting on sunscreen before makeup, even though I know it's bad and I should have done this a long time ago. That's why I'm hoping myself would have matured anyways and done this. So the only one I've tried so far is the Clinique Prep Start Daily UV Protection. It's SPF 50. Like I said, I just kind of got into it, so this is the first one I've really been trying, but I'm also still have a lot of it. So if you have any suggestions of SPFs to put on before makeup, let me know. And then foundation. Foundation's hard for me because that's like my guilty pleasure of trying. But again, wouldn't have done it back then. So instead I just kind of went through what I have and what I know I currently love or like, and what I would have purchased back then because of price. So this is the Catrice HD Liquid Foundation, or Liquid Coverage Foundation. This stuff is amazing. I know that now because I bought it and tried it, but I can imagine myself, if I didn't do this, still purchasing this because of the price. I want to say it was like $6. This stuff is amazing. It could be expensive and I would buy it now, not back then, but now. It's so weird to keep saying back then because it's not like back then, but had I not gotten into makeup, you know what I mean. You know what I mean. Okay, so concealer. This is where I was like, crap, what would I have got if I didn't get into makeup? And I think, at least out of what I've tried, this would be it. So these are ColourPop concealers. They actually are really good concealers, but I personally feel like I would have bought them had I not gotten into makeup because of the price. Like I said, had I not gotten into makeup, I wouldn't have been able to justify prices. So these are $5. This is like $6. You know what I mean? There are some stuff in here that are higher end just because I haven't tried something that's more affordable in it, so I don't know what it would be that I would have gotten. But the majority of this is affordable. If you want me to do kind of like what I would do had I known. See, but then I wouldn't have done. All right, if you just want to know what my current favorites are, let me know and I'll do that. We'll move on to powder. So this is what I currently use. This is the product that, even though I have an obsession with makeup, even though I try a bunch of makeup, it's still one of those products that I just can't justify paying a lot of money for. So I do go with the Maybelline Fit Me. This is their loose powder in the shade Fair. I love this stuff, and this is what I use every day unless something comes in a BoxyCharm. It's the only time I'm trying a different powder. Just because, like I said, it's just one of those that I can't justify paying, you know, over $20 for the powder. So moving on to bronzer, like I mentioned before, Marc Jacobs Fantastic is one of my favorite. Another one is Hourglass. But I know, had I not gotten into makeup as much as YouTube had me get into it, I would not buy those. Those are stupid expensive. Currently love them, but wouldn't have been able to get myself to buy it. So I went through my drugstore, and these are the ones that I really love. This one I love, which is the L'Oreal True Match Lumi Bronzer, or it's Bronze It. It's a sun-kissed bronzer in light. It's actually for face and body, that's why it's so big. But I love this. Personally, I'm so fair. This is my summer shade. I know, it's sad, but this is my summer shade, and I love this bronzer. It definitely does make me look more summery. I'm not wearing it today. I tried something else and I look a little crazy because it like stuck on my face, but I wasn't gonna take my makeup off. That's a waste. So this definitely is a good one for when I want to look more sun-kissed, hence the name of it. But if I don't, and it's more like, you know, my winter time, it's the Maybelline City Bronzer in the shade 100, which is their lightest shade. My package eventually finally broke because I've gotten to almost pan, but I love this bronzer. Like, I even love it now. If I'm doing my makeup and, you know, I'm extremely fair, so I'm putting on a really light concealer, a really light foundation to actually, you know, fully match me, then I'm Casper the Ghost. So I do use this especially for that, because this is such a light shade and it blends nicely that it doesn't end up doing, you know, this. So I really love this bronzer. Okay, for highlighter, I have an obsession with this highlighter. I wear this highlighter a lot, like a lot, because I personally am somebody who loves gold highlighter. Like, my tones are gold, obviously, but I'm very fair, and so a lot of times it's hard for me to find a gold that doesn't do a dark cast on my face. So this, sometimes if I'm doing too fair of a foundation, will still give me that dark cast, but the majority of the time I have a dark enough foundation bringing it down that it doesn't do that. This is by Pixi. It is the Glowy Gossamer Duo in Subtle Sunrise. I've honestly maybe used the pink side once, but the gold side is my favorite. It's just, oh, it's so pretty. Like, I don't know if you're, ooh. But it's just really nice, and like I said, it takes being extremely fair for it to actually give me that dark cast. A lot of times what I'll do, if I am wearing something that's very fair, is I'll actually put this over one on top of it by, it's the Glazed Donut, which is just pretty much almost pure champagne white, but mostly white. And I'll put it on top like that, and that'll help a little bit with the dark cast. I actually did that today. I don't know if you can even tell the two colors, but like I said, I wouldn't have done that back then. I wouldn't buy a crap ton of highlighters, you know. If I hadn't gotten into makeup like I did because of doing YouTube, I probably would only have one of everything. I don't think I'd have duplicates. If I did, maybe it was 2 highlighters and 2 bronzers, but I definitely wouldn't have drawers on drawers on drawers on stuff that doesn't fit into drawers of highlighters. Like, this is just my highlighters. Like, that's that's what I'm saying. I have a makeup obsession. I have an obsession now with testing products and reviewing them. Like, that in itself is now my obsession, you know? So I just feel like had I not done YouTube, I probably wouldn't got as invested into makeup, and so I probably would only have, you know, 1 or 2 of each item. If you want me to do an updated collection video, let me know. That'd be fun. Should I just do it anyways, even if you don't tell me? I think I might, because I like keeping record of it. Okay, get out of here. So that's highlighter. Let's move on to the eyes. I'm trying to see if I have it. I used to keep it. All right, I do not have what I'm looking for. I want to move into like eyeliners and stuff. So I actually have a eyeliner that I had before I even got into makeup. This is actually an eyeliner I kept repurchasing. So if I hadn't done YouTube, I would still be purchasing this. I still have it. But honestly, I don't know what it is about just myself personally. I've gotten away from eyeliner, and I want to get back into it because it really completes a look. I've just gotten lazy. But this is the Maybelline Define a Line Soft Black is the color. And I use this all the time. It's just so creamy. I really need to get back into it. But this is, well, there went a cap. This is really, really nice and really creamy. So I still would use that. The thing that I couldn't find is a gel or a liquid eyeliner I would have used. So I know what I used to use, and I feel like it's still kind of the same thing I would have used, which is just something from Walgreens or CVS that was a liquid eyeliner, like Maybelline had one. Probably would have used the Maybelline, let's be real, because, you know, I'm throwing makeup. I probably would have just used the same brand that gel that is now on the ground and I'm not picking up, that gel liner. But because I know now, you know, so this is what's hard. Is like, I want to tell you guys what I would recommend, but at the same time, because it's like I wouldn't, you know, I wouldn't have bought this stuff back then, or had I not gotten into makeup, I mean, I wouldn't have bought this stuff. But anyways, had I gotten somewhat into makeup to be able to justify expensive costs, like, you know, 20 some dollars for me for an eyeliner back, like, if I had gotten into makeup, it was like, whoo, probably still like that, hence why this is a baby. But I actually really, really like this, and I do maybe want to get a bigger size. I don't know. So that's the problem. I used to wear eyeliner, like a winged liner, almost daily, and now I hardly ever wear it. But this is the Benefit Roller Liner, and this stuff is so, so good. I'm gonna go ahead and put this out here, even though I probably wouldn't have bought it, but I'm too obsessed with it to not say it. So this is by MAC. It's a single eyeshadow, and this is my inner corner highlight for pretty much everything. If you watch my videos, you know that, but I'm obsessed with this. This is MAC Nylon, and I just, oh, I love it. Like I said, probably wouldn't have purchased it because I want to say it's like $18 for just one shadow. I can't remember. I bought this so long ago. So another product that is a weird gray area again, that I don't know if I necessarily would have bought it because of the price if I wasn't that obsessed with makeup. But this is like the only shadow, or this is the only palette in my collection that I know for a fact if I had to get rid of everything, I would at least just keep this. So it is by Anastasia. It is the Modern Renaissance. This is my favorite palette. I was gonna repurchase it because I am pretty much completely out of tempera. I'm running low on like my main shades. There's some shades in here I haven't really touched. Actually, there's 2 that I haven't touched at all. I just see like my nail marks into them. But I love this palette. I did buy the other one, what was it, Soft Glam, because it is extremely similar to this, and so I bought it because I was running low on this, but I still would prefer this palette over the Soft Glam, just because the tones of the browns work better for my skin tone. But I love this palette. Eyebrows, and then lips, and then we're done. So for eyebrows, I'm gonna go with the ColourPop Brow Boss pencil liner. This is just what I currently have. Again, price point would have been amazing back then, or stop saying back then. Would have been amazing had I not been obsessed with makeup. Even obsessed with makeup though, I do really like this pencil. This is one product though that I don't know an alternative. Like, I know if I wasn't obsessed with makeup, I would not have bought this because of the price. I would think it's 20-some dollars for this. This is the Anastasia Brow Gel. Let me just stop talking about it without saying what it is. But I know for a fact if I didn't get into makeup, I would not have bought this. I would have had some kind of version of it from the drugstore. I just don't have any that I've tried that I can show you or like that I, you know. So I am saying this one because it's what I have, but I know myself and I would not have bought this because of its price. But I actually love that. That's what I'm wearing today. Half of the time when I do, especially like a soft makeup look that I'm not really doing much to my face. This is soft for me, by the way. This is what I use. I don't do eyeliner. I don't use a brow pencil. I just do gel because I have a decent amount of hairs. It's just they're very ashy or light toned, so it looks weird compared to my hair, even though my hair is my natural color. So I just use this to fill in the color. All right, let's move on. We have two products. So setting spray. Setting spray is Morphe. It is what I currently use the majority of the time. I do have some other ones, but this is pretty much what I use, specifically because of the spray. Like, I love the continuous mist. It's just so nice. I can't necessarily say it helps set my makeup, just because I haven't really been trying anything else to notice that effect, but I do like how it sets my powder. Last products is lips. Now, I'm gonna tell you there's not many, and if I'm being fully honest, I don't even know if I would have purchased lips at all. I know that's crazy to hear people say for makeup, but I'm not a big lip person. Like, obviously for a video I put lips on. Lips complete the look, so I'll put it for a photo. Sometimes I forget, but the majority of the time I don't wear lips, because especially like when I'm doing my makeup, it's to get ready for work. So as soon as I'm done getting ready, I go eat. So I don't think about taking a lip with me. And then on the weekends I film, put the lipstick on, and then I go do something with my husband, which normally involves going somewhere to eat, getting lunch, because it's normally just like when the timing lines up of me finishing a video. So I take the lips off, and I never think to go put some back on, or I don't know. I'm not a huge lip person, but I understand that lips complete the look. That's also why I didn't mention any blush, because I have never been a blush person until recently. So I can't imagine if I wasn't makeup obsessed, me ever going and getting blush, because it took 5 years for me to actually start using blush. And that's probably just because of my skin. I don't know if you can even tell, I don't have blush on today, but the way stuff pulls and the way bronzers pull and sometimes take off a little bit of my makeup sometimes, my skin underneath is very red. I don't know if you can see my skin. I'm just a very red person, so I always could not stand the fact of putting makeup on to cover the redness, to then add some sort of red or blush, or, you know, some kind of rose, or, you know what I'm saying. I just couldn't imagine it. So I know for a fact I wouldn't have back then. So even though I don't think I probably would have done lips, I'm still gonna give some lip options that if I were to do it, I think these would be what I would grab. So first is this by Physicians Formula. It is a liquid lip. It is the Healthy Lip Velvet Finish. This is in the shade All Natural Nude. It's actually what I have on my lips now, but I have a gloss on top of it. And I don't think I would have done that extra step back then. So this is the color. I really like this. It smells weird, and I think it might be expired. Probably shouldn't have put it on my lips, but you know, yellow, right? That is probably one of the liquid lipsticks I would buy because this is cheap. Also, I probably would have just stayed in the drugstore had I purchased stuff. So I know like NYX butter glosses or butter, what are they called? I can't remember, but NYX's products are really good. I just don't have any. But those I probably would have bought just because they're starting to pop up in more CVS's. Like, I would have probably just been in Walgreens, CVS, and maybe Target. That's probably where I would have shopped. So next and last product is these, what are they called? L'Oreal, I want to say Signature Rouge. So these I'm obsessed with even now. They're a liquid lipstick-ish. I think they are. I think that's what they're categorized as. But they're almost like a stain. They come off, so they're not fully a stain. That's just, this consistency reminds me of a stain because they are so thin and lightweight. I love these. Like, if I'm just trying to add something simple, these are my go-to. So I have the shade I Empower, which is this middle one. And then the other one is I Create, which is this one. Like I said, I think they're categorized as liquid lipsticks, but to me they remind me of a stain. Like, I feel like they're kind of a combination because they're obviously pigmented, but they are so lightweight that they kind of resemble a stain in my opinion. But I love these. So that is my makeup collection. Had I not gotten into makeup really because of YouTube. If you want, I can do my current favorites because that would be pretty different from this. Actually, there is some stuff that would be similar. That foundation, I'm obsessed with. The highlighter, I'm obsessed with. The eyeshadow, I'm obsessed with. You know, so there are some similarities, but there are some products that are different. So if you'd like me to do that video, let me know. Yeah, that's all I got. So I will see you guys in the next one.